We have been mesmerized by The Great Gatsby, and this morning, the man at the center of it all, Leonardo DiCaprio, tackling one of the most iconic characters in American literature, Jay Gatsby, the glamorous, tortured, endlessly romantic tycoon at the heart of F. Scott Fitzgerald's masterpiece. Take a look.
I've gotten all these things for her. I've gotten all these things for her. Now she just wants to run away. She wants to leave that.
Jay, you can't repeat the past.
Can't repeat the past.
No.
Why, of course you can. Of course you can.
And with that, we welcome back Leonardo DiCaprio. Thanks for coming back to GMA.
Thank you. Glad to be
So
here.
do you believe that? Of course you can.
Well, I think what people identify with Jay Gatsby is he's the iconic American dreamer, and he's holding on to a relic of the past that is Daisy Buchanan, but she's a mirage and she no longer exists. But that's what I became fascinated by in portraying him, was his obsession, his obsession and his relentless hope that he could recreate the past, but of course he couldn't.
We were just talking about the fact you, like all of us, read this in junior high school, and then Baz Luhrmann gave you a first edition before you took on the role, and you read it again and again and again. And when you go back to it as an adult, what did you get from the story?
Well, I read it in junior high school, and it made sense to me, and it was, in my mind, a sort of traditional love story at the time period, and it was representative of the Roaring '20s, and I kind of tapped into Gatsby's obsession. But Baz handed me a first edition copy and said, I want to rediscover this novel, and I want to put it up on film, and I want you to reread it. And as an adult, that's what's so incredibly powerful about this novel. It takes on a different meaning. As you mature and as you age, you start to understand the symbolism. It's really an existential novel. It's really, one of those books that is not only, it's woven into the fabric of America. And here at the center, you have this man that creates himself according to his own imagination in the 1920s in a place like America where everything was possible.
And Baz Luhrmann creates that world in such a spectacular way.
Yes, he does. He really made the 1920s roar in this film. But with Baz, anytime you sit in a room with him, he's one of the most nostalgic, sort of exciting artists you could ever encounter. And it's almost impossible to say no to him because he transports you into another era and time.
Were you reluctant?
I was reluctant because I think that what's so powerful about this novel is everyone has their own interpretation of these characters, and it's such a voyeuristic novel. The way Fitzgerald writes these scenes, you feel like you're in the room with these people. So I feel like everyone has their own intimate understanding and relationship with these characters.
Especially in 3D as well. And does that change when you're acting? Do you adjust your performance knowing it's going to be in 3D?
Oh no, never. But we really attempted this like a theater production. I mean, the last plaza sequence, which is 10 minutes long in the movie, which is the final climax of the novel.
The fight.
Yeah, the big fight at the end. We rehearsed that like a theater company for weeks and weeks, and endlessly tried to dissect Fitzgerald's words. And went into that room for 2 weeks and locked ourselves away. But the great thing about 3D that I think is so surprising in this film is that it gives you that ability to immerse yourself in the room. You understand the palpable tension between the characters.
No question about that.
You feel the heat of the room that Fitzgerald so describes. And it just adds another layer of what it's like to be the reader and feel like you're in the room with these people.
That is absolutely true, and you can feel all that intensity. We only have about a minute left. Before you go, I want to ask you about this. The 11th Hour, you're sponsoring an auction with Christie's.
Yes.
All to raise money for environment and wildlife preservation. Tell us about it.
Well, I've been involved in environmental issues for 15 years now, and only 2% of philanthropy goes towards ecology. It's a surprising number.
That is surprising.
It is very surprising. So for me, it was about raising awareness of these issues. What we're trying to do is conserve and save pristine ecosystems.
We're showing some of the art right there. It's amazing.
Around the world, coral reef systems, forests that are home to endangered species, and 33 of the greatest sort of contemporary artists have donated works to the Christie's auction, and all of it's going to go towards conserving these these last wild places.
That is great. Coming up May 13th.
May 13th, Christie. I'm going to do my promotion now.
Do your thing, right?
Christie's.com, 11th hour auction. Check it out online and sign up to bid. And there's going to be some unbelievable work.
And check out The Great Gatsby this Friday.